Guys, what's up? What's going on? This is RJ Game News USA here. And today, I kind of just want to talk to you all about Mario Kart World. And I'm going to go over my review. So let's just jump right into it. So right off the bat, I got to say, this is a 10 out of 10 game. This is clearly and obviously a 10 out of 10. Right from the jump. Mostly because I thought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was a 10 out of 10 game. And this game improved upon it in every which way you could possibly imagine. For everything that might be different or missing from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, this game surprises and wows and amazes me in so many ways I couldn't have even conceived of. So I guess first we're going to start off by talking about the mechanics of the game. This is very important, the gameplay. We lost anti-gravity, which was a good feature for Mario Kart 8, but we gained so much more. The paragliding's fine, right? It's great. Driving on water is fucking cool. It is way cooler than I could have imagined. Than driving underwater in past Mario Karts. Grinding on rails. Wall jumping. It's just literally some of the best mechanics I've ever seen in a racing game. I can't even think of a game that's duplicated it. And when we talk about the development of this game, Monolith Soft helped with it. Of course, they're famous for the Xenoblade games. And that makes me like it even more. So the mechanics are awesome. Next up, let's talk about the tracks. Okay? The tracks are so well designed and so well put together. Especially to accommodate different play styles, different paths. While at the same time being easy to see and easy to follow about where to drive and what the correct path is. So I think they did an excellent job with the tracks. They're very well themed. We no longer have to have tracks that are solely dedicated to past Mario Kart games. They merely just put in some iconic parts of old Mario Kart games woven into these new tracks. The interconnectedness between the tracks, the in-between roads, all the tracks and the roads were so intricately well designed. So A+ there. And next we got to talk about the presentation, the graphics and the music. The graphics are top notch. It looks absolutely gorgeous, whether you're in a snowy area, a sunset area, a water area. Rainbow Road looks amazing. The music, I can't get enough of this music. The music is freaking great. Every song, whether it's a song I cared about or not, just sounds perfect. Perfection on the music front. And then, let's just jump right into the modes, because that's the heart and soul, obviously, of the game. So, free roam mode, they didn't have to make this. They really didn't. But the fact that they made it makes this a whole nother ball game. Because if they had just made tracks, or even interconnected tracks, and didn't even do free roam mode, already this game's a 10 out of 10. But then you throw in the free roam mode, and you're like, this is just a whole nother way to play. A relaxing drive. Or, in my case, switching on P-switches for missions. There's also Peach medallions and floor panels to collect as well. But the blue switch panels are obviously the star of the show of the open world. In addition to just driving odd places and just doing weird things. I have been jaded against open world games for a while because very few of them speak to me in any meaningful way before I get bored anymore. This world I actually want to explore, which is crazy because it doesn't have like 5,000 side quests in it. I just want to drive around in it. So the open world was great. We got to talk about knockout mode. Knockout mode is the single funnest mode that's ever existed in any Mario Kart, period. Literally. It feels like a long-ass marathon race that's intense from start to finish, where it's sectioned off, and out of the 6 sections, every section will chop off the bottom 4 players. So you start off with 24, you go to 20, 16, 12, 8, 4, and then finally the end. It leaves for such intense moments. And then we get to Grand Prix, and I kept hearing people bitching about, oh, well, the Grand Prix is you race here, and then you drive to your next location, and you race there. It doesn't even work like that. It literally feels like you just do go from race to race, and you are driving in between, but it's part of the race, and it's not really a big deal that it does that. Because I'm literally having so much fucking fun when I'm doing Grand Prix. Like, and that brings me to, okay, I'll get to tracks in a minute, but we'll continue with modes. Battle mode's really good. It's very chaotic. There's a timer set, just go nuts. Same with coin runner mode. Versus race has a lot of customization that can be done. 4 teams, 2 teams, 3 teams, up to 32 tracks. So that's good for customization and whatnot. And then we got to talk about the tracks while we're at it. We do got to talk about the tracks. These tracks are fucking awesome. Whether you're talking, DK Spaceport stands out to me a lot. That's a very creative track with Donkey Kong throwing the barrels and, any of the space stuff in there. Looks cool. If you like Toad's Turnpike on N64, Mario Kart 64, a lot of the tracks, especially in the highway, is like doing Toad's Turnpike with cars coming and going to create more chaos. Of course, Rainbow Road was kick-ass. And there's some wonderful beach levels. There's some great jungle levels. There's Bowser's Castle looks fucking amazing. This is probably the best Bowser's Castle ever. And there's a bunch of callbacks to old Mario Karts on tracks, but without it being the entire track. There's a bunch of new stuff with these tracks as well. And the way it all comes together, interconnected in a way they never had to worry about before. You figure maybe they'd flub it up somehow, and they really didn't. Every track I go on is a complete and total joy. There's no track that I get to and I'm like, ugh, fuck this track. I'm bored of it. No, not yet. And I've played several tens of hours so far of this game. Not hundreds, tens of hours. Dozens, maybe. We got to talk about the online. The lobbies are so good. You get in, you get out. Even while you're waiting, you can drive around sort of in a free roamish sort of thing. Of course, knockouts to stand out. That's what I would do online. Forget even doing versus mode. Knockouts just the mode to do online. It is so fucking fun. It is. I could literally get lost in hours doing that, trying to get first against everybody else. And we got to talk about the expanded player count up to 24 players, like I was alluding to earlier. It creates for some chaotic moments, but I also feel like everything that happens in the race feels like it's within somewhat of my control and my grasp, which is important to me, to not just be a bag in the wind and whatever happens, happens. I feel like I do have a lot of say-so on where I finish. And there's been some crazy photo finish moments and close calls. And there's even been an incident where I'm falling off of a cliff and I use a feather while I'm falling to get back on the track, and that was a holy shit moment. Speaking of items, the items are top notch. I love how the item tails behind you like a shell. You don't have to hold the button down for convenience sake. And the item could, defend for you if you're in first and whatnot. The accessibility options from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe are still there, like auto accelerate. I definitely turn the smart steering off. I like to control my own shit. I don't worry about going off guardrails. There's not really a lot of falling in this game. There's some falling, but it's not a whole lot of falling. But when it comes to auto accelerate, I don't have to sit there and hold the button. I'm just automatically full gassing it. So for convenience sake, that helps me play for many more hours without my thumb getting tired. I know it sounds stupid, but it's true when you just play this game for so long. And we got to talk about the characters. So this roster is completely stacked and packed with many more characters than I ever could have imagined for a Mario Kart game. A lot of people were wondering if this would be like Mario Kart Smash, where you have a bunch of different characters from Nintendo. No, not really. Maybe that'll be added in DLC. But honestly, characters like the Snowman and the Cow and the Bumblebee and all these other characters I was never giving much shine to are getting some shine, and I enjoy picking them. And that brings me to the carts and the other customizations. Like, you could put stickers on your carts, and there's a shitload of stickers in the game, which is your ultimate collectible as well. You're always constantly unlocking things, which I'm cool with how the unlock system works. And for every 100 coins you get, you basically unlock a new vehicle. You no longer have to worry about setting up wheels and paraglider and body and mix matching them. You just pick a cart and go. I like that much better. Sometimes simpler is better. And in this case, it's better. I have seen a lot of people ask for 200cc. That is one thing, and the only thing this game needs is 200cc. It could use it. I would absolutely enjoy playing it. I'd absolutely be pulling my hair out playing it, trying to get Gold Cup 3-star on 200cc, because that's very difficult to do. I got a ways to go before I 100% the game. Of course, I'll be back to talk about when I do that. But even though it lacks 200cc, it makes up for it in so many other areas. I can't justify giving it below a 10. To me, this is obviously one of the greatest games ever made. Like, this is right up there with some of the best games that have ever been made, period, for me. Or one of my most favorite games I've ever played. And the fact that I simply flat out know that I'm going to be playing this for many, many, many years brings me absolute joy. And that's what this game is. It's absolute joy. So, I'm happy to review it. It's honestly an honor and a privilege to play this game. Not to suck too much ass, but I'm just telling the truth. I'm happy I could still be alive to play something like this, because this is fucking awesome. You know, me as a kid playing Super Mario Kart in the mid-90s would have never, in a million years, thought it would ever turn into this. I couldn't comprehend what technology could bring us 3 decades later. Nintendo should give themselves a round of applause. It's absolutely worth the $80. The only way it's not worth the $80 is if you are somebody that literally doesn't like Mario Kart at all. If that's the case, that's fine. But other than that, it is the first $80 game, and it's worth the $80 fucking dollars, in my opinion. 10 out of 10. Felt close to giving it 11 out of 10, which I've only done to one other game, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. But, no, 10 out of 10. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.